My name is Ben Lair. I'm with Kitten Rescue. I'm going to be talking about what to do if you find little, cute, abandoned orphan kittens. And I know that you're here at an Animal Wellness Expo. You can't resist little orphan kittens, so you're going to want to listen to this. So grab a seat, make yourself comfortable, and we'll talk about what to do if you come across abandoned orphan kittens. You'll know that they're unweaned if they are under 4 to 5 weeks. That's generally when weaning happens, and you can tell by how mobile they are. If they are scooting about, they've already been weaned, they can fend for themselves, and there the trick is scoop them up, tame them, and get them adopted, or if you're lucky you can get a rescue group to take them. But when they're younger than that, they have not been weaned, they are completely dependent on mom, who has abandoned them so she's not around, or you, who found them, to take care of them. How do you do that? There's 3 big no-nos. One, and probably the biggest no-no, is bringing them to the animal shelter because they are a pound and they take in any stray animals off the street and expect them to take care of them. They won't. They will euthanize them. And they will euthanize them immediately because they can't take care of little orphan kittens on their own. They need individual bottle feeding, and they're not going to get that at a shelter. So that's the first big no-no. Second big no-no is just put them in a box or something with a little tub of milk, cow's milk. They can't digest cow's milk. It will cause diarrhea, and it won't give them any of the nutrition they need, and so they won't make it either. And the third big no-no is calling me on my cell phone and saying, will you please come take these kittens, or I'm going to bring them to the shelter and feed them cow's milk, because I can't do that. Other than that, it's not that difficult. I've raised many bottle babies on my own. I have a full-time job. It's possible to make it work. The first thing you want to do is be sure you have something to feed them. What is that? You can get kitten milk replacement formulas. There's several different brands. All the pet stores carry them. They're in powdered form and they're in liquid form, pre-mixed, and little bottles in which to feed them with. All of these things come with instructions. All you need to do is be able to read, and you can do that. The other thing is you can make your own, or if it's late at night, you find them at 11 p.m., you can run to a market and get some goat's milk. And goat's milk, for some reason, is very good for little kittens. I don't know the relationship between kittens and goats in the wild. I've never seen kittens nursing on a goat in the wild, but I'm still young. That could happen. There are formulas that you can find on the internet. I know that my organization, Kitten Rescue, has a very good kitten formula with goat's milk posted on the website, which is www.kittenrescue.org. And anyone who knows how to use Google can probably find a million other good orphan kitten recipes, because all the rescue groups pretty much use the same goat's milk-based recipe. The way you feed the little kitties, though, is not force feeding them with a syringe, because if you're squirting that stuff in there and they're resisting it, it could go down their lungs and cause pneumonia. That's not a good thing for a little kitten to have because they're so fragile. They should want to take the bottle. They may resist a little bit, but you can drip it in their mouth, or you can drip with the syringe. You don't squirt. If they are not eating at all, they should go to a vet, and a vet needs to look at them and find out what is wrong with them. Often, the little kitties that are found in the wild, they're dehydrated, and you can test that out by grabbing them by the scruff. I think I got it. Oh, you want to help?
No. Yeah, I'll hold that like.
Okay. And you can test this on an adult cat, too. You grab their scruff, and then you let go. And if it kind of stays up or snaps down really slowly, it means they are dehydrated, and they need to be hydrated. And the way to hydrate them is not to hold them underwater or not to squirt water in their mouth. They need to be given subcutaneous fluids, injecting fluids between the skin and the muscle. It sounds gross. It's really easy. I can do it in my sleep. Usually I get the kitties and not me when I do it in my sleep. And any vet tech can do it. You can bring them to an emergency vet, or if it's during daytime hours, and they can do it, and it's not that expensive. And they don't need that much, and it really makes a big difference. They really recover quickly once they are hydrated. If they are too hot, you need to cool them down, and you can do that using a sort of coolish warm bath. You don't want to do it too cold so it sends them into shock. If they are too cold, which is much more common than them being too hot, you need to warm them up, and you can also do that with a water bath, or I like to set up a little box with a heating pad in it. And if I don't have a heating pad because I've lent it to somebody else, you can microwave a bottle of water. You can microwave a thing called a snuggle safe, which is a little disc that stays warm, that emits heat for 5 hours. Put it under a towel, and it's like mom. They'll think it's mom. Stick one of these in there, and they'll be completely convinced they're with mom, and they'll never know. Of course, you still have to feed them. Another thing that is quite common with little orphan kittens is they have lots of fleas. And fleas, of course, can be carrying disease, and it can also make them anemic if they suck all the blood out of them, which you could sort of look when you look at their gums. If their gums are nice and pink, they're in good shape, but if they're very white, they could be a little anemic. Got to get the fleas off. Don't want to give them flea medicine when they're little orphans because they're very fragile and some of those chemicals can be harsh. If you use a nice dishwashing soap that's very mild, like Dawn is what we recommend. You can just wash them off, comb them. If they're really flea infested, it'll be a little bloody, but they will really appreciate it, and it can make a huge difference in terms of how quickly they rebound when you get all the fleas off of them. And then when they're a little older, you can use small amounts of noxious chemicals. But when they're really young, I would not use the noxious chemicals. All right, they always ask me to show you how to make them go to the bathroom. This is the part we have to ask the camera to turn away from. Pottying the bottle babies. When you have little orphan kittens, they can't go to the bathroom on their own. In the wild, when they're with their mom, the mom induces them by licking in the private areas, and it stimulates them, and they either pee or they poop. And mother, I know this is going to sound gross, but mother swallows it. There's no trace. No one knows. No predators can say, hey, little babies, little helpless babies, because it's gone. When they're in the home, they can't do that. You have to be responsible for pottying them. I don't recommend you using your tongue because it's not rough enough, and also, you know, it's kind of gross down there. Although if you've just given them a bath, no, never mind. What you do is you take a washcloth or a cotton ball or in a pinch, a napkin or something, and warm water, and you just rub the belly, move down a little bit, gently, gently, and you'd be amazed at what comes out. They almost always go after every meal or sometimes before every meal, and if you don't do it, they might do it on your leg while you're feeding them, so it's always a very good idea to potty them. And when you potty them, you will also be able to see whether they have the runs, and that can be an indication that they need some either some medical attention or they just need to be given some kind of fiber to firm them up a little bit. I use baby rice formula from Gerber's, mix a little bit of that in with their food, and it firms them right up. Anything else?
They start going to the bathroom around 3 or 4 weeks.
Between 3 to 4 weeks, they'll start going on their own. I'm always amazed at how quickly they learn the cat box, and there's no bigger. The two biggest reliefs after you have been fostering a bunch of little orphan stuffed bottle babies are when they start going to the bathroom on their own and they start eating on their own. It's the greatest thing in the world. So if you do happen to find the I'll take some questions. Yes.
How many times a day do you feed them?
It depends on their age. When they are really young, up to a week, they're going to need to be fed every 1 to 2 hours. Probably as they get older, leaning towards the every 2 hours. Then as they get older, they usually let you know when they want to eat because they're very loud and they're very high-pitched squeaking. Then you go 2 to 3 hours, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, and then when they're between 3 and 4 weeks and they're almost time to wean, you can get away with 5 to 6 hours and you can finally start sleeping again. And every time I get these little orphan kitties and it's 3 in the morning and my alarm goes off and I pull myself out of bed cursing, there's nothing more gratifying than heating up that formula and feeding them and seeing them eat, and their ears twitch when they do it. It's really cute. So it makes it all worthwhile. And then, of course, you wean them and it's really worthwhile. So that's it. Thank you for listening.